So we have last time we were discussing the bonds with warrants and the indebted class with the value of each warrant, which is equal to 8.5. But next thing that we would like to do is to estimate the cost of these debentures. And of course, you must keep in mind that these are not just bonds, but they are bonds attached with 20 warrants. So you need to take care all of the cash flows associated with the exercise of the warrants as well. Now, there are a few things that I'd like to mention before we go to check cash flows. The first is that we don't know exactly whether in the future the stock price will exceed the exercise price of the warrants or not. We have one piece of information. The exercise price is constant at 22 baht per warrant, all right, per share of common stock. And assuming that this is today, the stock price today is equal to 20 baht. Now, the maturity of the debenture is equal to 30 years. However, the maturity of the warrant is equal to 10 years. Right? So you need to use 10. And since the warrants we don't have any information. Second thing is that we don't know whether the warrants are American or European, right? So we may assume that the warrants can be exercised anytime. However, there is one more piece of information saying that the company will have paid, assuming that all of the warrants will be exercised when they mature. Yeah, assume that the warrants will not be exercised until maturity. So therefore, now we are assuming that the warrants are European and it will be exercised only on the last day, that is year 10 after this. Now you need to forecast what the stock price 10 years from today is, right? So that you can compare this stock price with the exercise price of the warrant, which is equal to 22. Okay, so if the stock price 10 years from today is less than the exercise price, then the warrants have no value. Warrant holders will hold the warrants unexercised. On the contrary, if the stock price is greater than 22, then it is profitable for warrant holders to exercise the options. And the holders are going to reap some profit here. This is very close to a game called a zero-sum game, where the gain of the warrant holders is exactly equal to the loss of the issuing firm. Okay. Of course, when the warrants are exercised, the firm will get 22 baht for each common stock issued. However, the price of the stock at that time may be some number greater than 22 baht. Therefore, the firm is going to lose equal to the difference between the expected stock price 10 years from today and the exercise price per share. Okay, so we need to forecast the stock price. First of all, we should know that the stock price 10 years from today, the stock price 10 years from today must be equal to the, should I use a P or BS? I'm going to switch this one. Sorry about that. I am going to use P0 so that this is consistent with the notations that we used when we discussed cash dividends and stock repurchases last time. This is the stock price today. And this is the expected stock price 10 years from today, correct? So, how can we find the stock price 10 years from today? It is equal to the market capitalization of the firm 10 years from today, divided by total number of shares 10 years from today. Please keep in mind that if the warrants are exercised, the firm will have a larger number of the common shares, right? And what is the numerator equal to? The answer is this one must be equal to the firm value 10 years from today. Right? Minus debt 10 years from today. Divided by total number of shares 10 years from today. If you think that the stock price today is the equilibrium price, then you can use the notation for the intrinsic value. This is similar. This can be just market price or equilibrium market price per share, alright? So no different. Okay? So we need to find the value of the firm 10 years from today first. And since the value of the firm, let me check first. The value of the firm anytime is equal to the value from operation at time t plus the value of non-operating asset at time t. I don't think we have any non-operating asset. So let's say today we zero intrinsic value today is equal to the value of operation today plus value of non-operating asset today. This one is given. It is equal to the the first line of the second question, 250 million baht, and this is zero. Okay, so the value of the firm today is equal to 250 million baht. The information says that the value is expected to grow at 9% per year. Therefore, your expected firm value 10 years from today is equal to 250 million times 1.09 to the 10th power. And this is equal to 591.84 million. Okay. How do we know that the value of the firm will grow at this rate? It is given in the text, all right? That is in equation number 2, line 2. It is expected to grow at 9% per year forever. Okay, forever. Now, this is the value before warrants are exercised. This is the value before the warrants are exercised. So when the warrants are exercised, your firm is expecting to get new cash from the exercise of the warrant, from the exercise of the warrant. Okay. Now, please don't forget that one bond, this is one debenture is attached with 20 warrants. And one warrant can buy one share. Okay, one warrant can buy one share. So one warrant per one common share. Right? Now, the total value of the bond, just a moment, 20 years. That's the first line. Informatics Corporation sold 50 million baht of 20-year bonds at par in 2010. So total value of debt, the total value of debt is equal to 50 million baht. 50 million baht. So total number of warrants issued is equal to 50 million baht, right? Divided by 1,000. 1,000. This is the par value of the bond. This is the par value of the bond. Times 20 warrants. Times 20 warrants. So the first term here is the total number of debentures. Total number of debentures issued. And then each debenture is attached with 20 bonds. 20 bonds. Right? And therefore, new cash that the firm receives must be equal to total number of warrants issued times 22 baht per warrant. This is the exercise price. This is the exercise price. Okay. So altogether, you can calculate the product 50 million baht divided by 1,000 times 20. This is the total number of warrants issued times 22 baht. So the firm is able to raise 22 million baht more from the exercise of the warrant. From the exercise of the warrant. Okay. Therefore, total firm value expected, of course, is equal to the sum of the expected value from operation, which is equal to 591.841 plus 22 million. So the total firm value is equal to 613.84 million. Right? So the first part is done. The next part is to find the value of debt. This is not that simple. in the sense that you must understand that our debentures have 20 years until it matures, but we are interested in calculating the value after 10 years here. So you need to find the value of the bond at the end of 10 years. At the end of 10 years, because don't forget that the bonds or the debentures here are not the same as convertible debentures we discussed last time. When you convert convertible debentures, then you don't have the outstanding bonds anymore. But these are debentures with warrants, and the warrants can be detached from the bonds. So when you would like to exercise, right? You just detach the warrants, exercise them, but you still hold the debentures until they mature 10 years from the point where we are interested in. Okay? So you need to find the market value of the bond today. This number cannot be the par. No. Because you need to assume that what if we buy back all the bonds at the end of year 10 right away. So the bond value here must be the straight debt value. Must be the straight debt value. All right. So think about you are at the end of year 10 and you see these debentures 11, 12 until 20, right? You expect to get coupon C-bar per year, and then the par value at the end of 10 years. So in order to find the price, you must find the appropriate discount rate. And in this case, if the debentures were not attached by the warrants, investor will require 10%. 10%. Okay. Please don't forget that the coupon interest rate of the bond is equal to 8%. So C is equal to 8% times 1,000. This is equal to 80 baht. Alright, so this one is equal to 80, 80, 80. And this is equal to 1,000. So the bond value, the market value of the bond or the debentures 10 years from today can be calculated as follows. So I'm going to use B10, alright? This one must be 80 times summation of 1 over 1.1 to the t power. T is from 1 to 10. Because the remaining maturities at the end of year 10 must be 10 years. Let me repeat. So if you are, let's say, another investor and you like to buy this bond at the end of year 10, you need to take a look at the free cash flows in the future. What are you going to get 10 years from now? So there are two portions, right? The first one is a series of coupon, and the second portion is the principal or the par. So you just find the present value of coupons and par, discounted at the rate of return that you require. At this moment, this is higher than the coupon interest rate. Okay, and this is the present value of the par. The present value of the par, and you don't need to write down the first expression if this question is in the exam. You can begin with the second equation right away. That is 1 minus 1.1. The power is minus 10 divided by 0.1. And plus 1,000 times 1 over 1.1 to the 10th power. And you can use your financial calculator, right, in order to get the answer. But at least let me know what you are going to do, right? So at least I know, okay, everything is correct or not from this one. So I don't care much about your final answer. But before pressing your financial calculator, write down the initial expression, putting all numbers like this, like this. And then you don't need to substitute this, just give me the final answer. That should be okay. But I'm going to show you this one anyway. 6.1441 plus 1,000. 1 over 1.1 to the 10th power is equal to 0.3855. And the debt value is equal to 877.11 per bond. Right? And from our previous calculation, total number of bonds on debentures is equal to 50,000 debentures. 50,000 debentures, okay? So altogether, each is worth 877.11. Therefore, the total debt value, total debt is equal to the product of the price per bond times 50,000 baht. And the product is equal to 43.86 million. 43.86 million. Please keep in mind that we don't have any other pieces of information regarding the debt, right? So you can assume that there is only one type of debt, that is the debentures that we issued today, together with 20 warrants each. All right. So just one issue of debenture, one issue of debentures. Okay. And then therefore, the value that will remain to the shareholders must be equal to 613.84 million. This is the expected value of the firm, including cash that the firm is expecting to get from the exercise of the warrants. Okay, so you sum them up. Minus total debt, which is equal to 43.86 billion baht. So the market capitalization is equal to 569.98 million baht. Okay. So the numerator is here already. I would like to repeat the step one more time. We start with the expected value of the firm 10 years from today, right? And there are two portions. That is the expected value before the exercises of the warrants. That's one number. And then you should know that when all warrants are exercised, the firm gets some more cash. So the sum between the cash that the firm gets and the total value of the firm before the exercises is the total value of the firm, right? Then we need to find the market capitalization. That is the value that remains to common stockholders. Therefore, you need to deduct the total value of debt. And in this case, we have only one debt issue. But it is not that simple in the sense that the debt value will not be equal to the total par value. No, because you need to come up with the market value because this value represents the most accurate value. You can think about at the end of year 10, right? When the firm wants, if the firm wants to retire all the debentures, they can buy all the debentures back at the price equal to 877.11 baht, not 1,000. Therefore, that's why this number is not 1,000 baht par times the total number of debentures outstanding. Okay. After you get the total debt value, then take it out from the expected total firm value. You are going to get the market capitalization. Right? Now, the denominator. Total number of shares, I am going to write new. Now, you need to understand that there will be new shares issued when warrants are all exercised. So this will be total number of shares before the exercises plus new shares from the exercise. Okay, you can use any symbol or notation. Doesn't matter. And let me take a look at the number first. Okay, currently there are 10 million shares of common stock outstanding. Therefore, before the exercise of the warrants, the firm has 10 million shares. How about new shares? This one is calculated by total number of bonds or debentures issued, 50,000. This is the number that we used earlier, 50,000 bonds, right? And each bond is attached with 20 warrants. Please don't forget that the exercise ratio is 1 warrant per 1 share. 1 warrant per 1 share. Therefore, new common shares will be exactly, so I'm going to multiply this by 1. This is the exercise ratio. This is the exercise ratio. So basically, the firm issued 10 years ago 50,000 times 20 warrants. And each warrant entitles the warrant holders to buy 1 new share. So altogether, you are going to end up with this must be 1 million. 11 million shares. 11 million shares. So we got all ingredients. Therefore, expected stock price per share must be, you can add a subscript. Doesn't matter. All 10 years from today. The expected stock price is equal to 569.98 million divided by 11 million baht. And it is 51.82 baht per share. 51.82 baht per share. Can anyone help me out calculating this number? 20 times 1.09 to the 10th. What is this one? approximately without decimal places? 47. Okay. Now you can see that a shortcut does not work. You cannot assume that the stock price will grow at the same rate as the value of the firm. Sometimes that is correct, but in this case, it is not. It is not. All right? So you cannot find the expected stock price 10 years from today by multiplying the current stock price with 1.09 to the 10th power. So this is wrong. This is wrong. Okay. So now you can see that the stock price is worth 51.82, but the firm sells each share at only 22 baht. That's equal to the exercise price. So the firm loss per bond or debenture, the firm loss per bond is equal to 51.82 minus 22 times 20 times 20 per bond. This is equal to 596.4 baht. Let me repeat. Why did I say that this was a firm's loss? Because it is like the firm issued a share that is worth 51.82. It should have got 51.82. However, since issuing the common shares is not just the issuing the common shares alone. This is by selling warrants 10 years ago, right? And at this time, warrant holders come to the firm and say that, okay, I am going to get one new share, but I'm going to pay you only 22 baht a share because you told me so. Therefore, this is a loss per bond, a loss per bond. And because each bond is attached with 20 warrants, so the total loss per bond is just the product of the difference between two prices and 20. And this is 596.4. So you can see that the cash flows associated with the warrants, CF related to the warrants, can be illustrated here. At the beginning, when the firm issued the debentures, the firm got 170. Of course, if you don't want to use 170, you can use 8.5. This is per warrant. This is per warrant, all right? This is per warrant. However, 10 years when after the issuance of the debentures, when the warrants are exercised, the firm loses 596.4. Or if you would like to use just the per share basis or per bond basis or just per warrant, this can be 29.82. I just divide 596.4 by 20. All right? So you can use either series, total 20 warrants, or each warrant. I am going to use this one. Therefore, the expected cost of warrant can be calculated as 170 times 1 plus R warrant to the 10th power. This is equal to 596.4. Okay. Or put this expression in another expression. This is similar to saying that the cost of warrant is just one interest rate that makes the present value of cash inflows equal to the present value of cash outflow. And what is this one? This one is 170. What is this one? 596.4 divided by 1 plus r w to the 10th power. Okay, so the first line that you see here is just a rearrangement of this expression, right? So if you understand everything, it is okay to use this one. But if you don't, then recall from our discussion when we talk about the cost of capital, You want to solve for the cost of capital, you can set up an equation such that the present value of cash inflows is equal to the present value of the cash outflows. Okay, so from this expression, expected cost of the warrant is equal to 13.35%. So you just take the 10th root of the proportion of 596.4 and 170, and then minus 1. So this is the cost of the warrant, right? And don't forget that the cost of debt is equal to 10%. This is the cost of debt without warrants attached. Okay, the straight debt, we discussed about this last time. You need to find the weighted average between these two numbers. However, from our discussion last time, don't forget that the value of the debenture plus warrant is equal to the value of the straight debt plus 20 warrants, right? 20 warrants. And this is equal to 1,000. And the straight bond value is equal to 3 to 830. And the whole package of the warrant, 20 of them, is equal to 170, right? So the expected cost of capital for the debenture with warrant must be equal to the proportion of debt times the cost of debt plus the proportion of warrant times the cost of warrant. Okay, and this is 830 divided by 1,000, because in the selling price that is equal to its par, only 830 belongs to the value of the bonds. The other 170 belongs to 20 warrants. So you must use 83% for the cost of debt, so times 10 plus 17%, right? 170 divided by 1,000 times 13.35%. 13.35%. Okay, so this is equal to 10.57%. 10.57%. And you can see that this number is greater than 10%, even if it is, the difference is very small. But at least it is theoretically correct in the sense that the bonds with warrants are riskier than the straight bonds. Therefore, the expected return required by the investors should be higher than 10%. Should be higher than 10%. But this is too small. The difference between this and this is too small. But it's still okay. At least it is not strange, like when we discussed the convertible debentures last time, right? It is very strange because the cost of the convertible debentures should be higher than the cost of the straight debt. Any questions? Okay, so you need to come up with the expectation of the exercises. Things will be more complicated if some warrant holders exercise the warrants along the way. But how can we handle this situation? You can expect some proportion of the warrant to be exercised, for example, at the end of year 5, year 6, year 7. So use some proportion. If that is the case, then there will be other cash outflows starting from the year when the stock price is greater than the exercise price. So instead of just getting one single cash outflow at the end of year 10, you may also get some numbers, negative numbers, somewhere here, year 6, year 5, because I said that because I'm not quite sure whether the stock prices at the very beginning years here will be greater than 22 baht or not. Okay. So it is difficult to say. So if exercises are along the way here, you can apply the same concept. For example, if I assume that 50% of the warrants are exercised at the end of year 9, 50% are exercised at the end of year 9, then you must come up with the cash outflow at the end of year 9, right? Take only half of the warrants. Take only half of the warrants, and then the process will be similar. Will be similar to the one that leads up to get 596.4. Okay, but if the exercises are spread over 4 years, yeah, you can use probabilities, right? Assign probabilities to the total number of warrants that will be exercised at the end of each 4 years. Then things will be similar, except that when you solve for the RW, it is a little difficult, but you have a financial calculator and Excel. That's not a problem, right? So we are done with the bonds with warrants, and then you can see now that two things are different. But before doing that, turn to page 10, please. Now, I would like to mention uses of warrants. Uses of warrants. Of course, our course focuses on financing, the first one. So warrants can be used to raise money. Warrants can be used to raise money. Keep in mind that the firm expects to sell common shares. But at the moment, the stock market may not be good. Okay, the stock price may be low in general, and then investors may not be in the mood to buy new shares. Therefore, the firm may delay issuing common shares a little bit by issuing warrants first, right? So this is it, financing. When I said that warrants are used to finance operations of firms, and then indeed the firm wants to sell common shares, sometimes the firm may not expect to sell common shares at all, but it just wants to issue some derivatives security, like warrants, right, to raise money. But if this is the case, investors may be reluctant to buy warrants because if they think that in the future they cannot exercise the warrants, right, it is not worth buying the warrants today because they are going to lose 100%. Usually, when they buy warrants, they expect to buy shares in the future. Okay. Second and third, warrants can be used as an investment tools, and also when you have some kind of financial risk, you can use warrants to hedge against the risk. So uses in BMC will be delayed until you learn investments and FN311 financial management for multinational corporations. Both courses will be offered to you next semester. So for the hedging part and for the investment part, please wait until January, okay? For us, we focus on the first part, financing. Now, please turn to the, how about this one? Let me see this first. When will a holder exercise his warrant? Then you can read this on your own. It's clear. Right, so go to the last page so that you can see some differences between warrants, bond with warrants, and convertible debentures. Okay. Now, I may not discuss all of the differences here because I have done mostly when we discussed each type of securities. You can go to page 730 if I remember correctly in the textbook. That is chapter 19, page 730. And then you can see some differences between warrants and convertibles. Warrants and convertibles. Let me give you some examples. First of all, in Thailand, by law, warrants entitle the holders to buy common shares, debentures, preferred shares, unit trust, and some other type of securities. Okay, but the most common one is common shares. Right? But for convertible debentures, usually they are converted into preferred shares and common shares. But the most common one is common shares. So now you can see that they are different. Warrants can be used to buy many more underlying assets than convertible debentures. Convertible debentures can be converted into just a few financial instruments. All right. I see only two types for convertible securities, either into common shares or into preferred shares. But for warrants, it can be anything. At least four of them, right? And then the law also allows some other types of assets. Now, when the second example that I would like to show you here is that when warrants are exercised, there will be, I'm talking about equity warrants, not derivative warrants, okay? When warrants are exercised, if warrants are issued naked, then After the exercise, there will be no more warrants in the market. This is similar to the convertible securities. When they are converted into some other assets, the convertible securities will be no longer in the market. Right? But if the warrants are attached to the debt instrument, if the warrants are attached to the debt instrument, when the warrants are exercised, the debt instruments are still in the market if the maturity of the warrants are shorter than the maturity of the debt instruments. Okay? So this is a difference. This is a difference. When the warrants are exercised, then they are gone. They are gone. If the warrants are attached to debentures, when the warrants are exercised and they are gone, but the debentures are still there. Compared to convertible debentures, when the debentures are converted into common shares, for example, then there are no more debentures in the market. The issue is cancelled. Okay? In 4.8, don't worry about this much. This is from the perspective of accountants. When we take a look at earning per share, there are many types of earning per share. Simple EPS, fully diluted EPS. Let me explain to you a little about fully diluted EPS. Even if the convertible debentures have not been converted into common shares yet, but accountants may report EPS on the basis of fully diluted, as if all of the convertible debentures are converted into common shares. Therefore, there will be more common shares outstanding than the actual ones. Right? So fully diluted EPS is the EPS that earnings that is divided by total number of shares, including all of the convertible securities that will be converted into common shares too. This is similar to a situation when the warrants are issued. Even if the warrants are not exercised yet, you just pretend that, okay, what if all warrants are exercised? Okay, we are going to get 1 million more shares. You add this to the current shares outstanding, and then calculate the fully diluted EPS. Right? Now go back to page 3. This is simple. The most difficult part is gone. And then we are going to move to topic 5.1, working capital management. Okay. Now take a look at common stock. Common stock. I am going to introduce a new concept that is about the preemptive right. But before I go to that part, I would like to mention 2 types of rights common stockholders have one more time. If you are a common stockholder of a firm, you have 2 types of rights. The first one is called a voting right. A voting right. Basically, this is a right to control the firm. How? By choosing directors. By choosing directors. And then the directors are going to choose the CEO or the president of the board of directors and some other senior managers. This is important. Don't worry about how to vote, whether the voting system will be the majority voting system or the cumulative voting system. A difference between two systems here is just that for the cumulative voting system, you allow minority shareholders to have a chance to choose their representative into the board of directors, right? Because when you cast the vote, for example, if there are three directors to be elected, and then let's say that you have one vote for each director. If the vote cannot be cumulated, then your vote will be just one for each director. It is impossible for you to win because if you hold only one chair, right, then the vote is too small. But if your vote can be calculated, I'm rushing myself. If your vote can be cumulative, then there are three directors. You may have, in this case, you have three votes. You can use these three votes for any one director. So it opens a chance for you to have a representative in the board of directors, right? So it depends. And second right is the right to receive cash flows. For example, dividends. Or if a firm decides to stop operation, then you have a right to claim the residual cash flows after money has been paid to creditors. So what is left will be yours. And third, this is a point that we are going to discuss today. You have a right to receive a preemptive right. Going to be discussed in detail. Now, there are many types of common shares. You may call the shares in classes. For example, class A and B. The letters here may be switched between A and B, alright? This is not fixed. I am just giving you an example. For class A common share, you may get more cash flow rights. For example, you get 1 baht of dividend per share. 100%, okay? But your vote is just counts only 50%. So you need two shares. To get one vote. This is class A. More cash flow rights. For class B, if you hold one share, you get one vote. Sometimes we get 1 million votes, depending on the definition of the classes. Okay. So, for example, the Ford family owns only 4% physically, 4% of total shares of Ford Corporation. However, the voting power is equal to about 40%. That means that one share of owned by the Ford family has more powerful voting, has more voting power. All right. In exchange of getting more voting rights, shareholders in this class may receive smaller amount of dividends. For example, just only 50%, all right, or just 10%, depending on the characteristic of each class here. In Thailand, it is not allowed to have different classes of common shares. However, There is one example. Even if the law doesn't allow the firm to issue common shares with classes, if you still remember, let me use PTT. This is in the energy industry, and it is important for Thailand. Therefore, the government may require foreign investor to hold shares up to 49%. This is just an example, right? 49%. However, since many foreign investors may be interested in buying shares of PTT, but because of the ceiling, they cannot buy PTT shares anymore. There is a security called NVDR. Anyone want to guess what this word stands for? NVDR. Non-voting depository receipt, NVDR. Non-voting depository receipt. This security or instrument is issued by a firm called NVDR. I think this corporation is a subsidiary of the Stock Exchange of Thailand. I'm not quite sure. Sorry about that. So when a foreigner facing the ceiling like this, wants to buy more shares of PTT Corporation, it can do this by going to the NVDR, specifying that he or she is going to buy more shares of PTT. What you are going to get is a receipt. So the foreigner is going to get a receipt that is called the NVDR. All right? Specifying that this piece of paper is the NVDR for PTT Corporation. So basically, this is similar to PTT common share. But there's one big difference is that any investor who holds the NVDR of PTT Corporation can get all of the cash flows similar to the cash flows that PTT shareholders get, but he or she cannot vote. So the NVDR of PTT, if you hold the NVDR of PTT, you cannot vote. Okay? So you may call this is a common share, and this is the second class, right? Because if you hold PTT share, you can get both voting rights and cash flow rights. But if you hold the NVDR of PTT, you will not get any voting rights. not at all. Other things are similar. Other things are similar. For the 2.4 advantages and disadvantages of common stock financing, you can read this in the textbook. Now, when the firm would like to issue to raise capital, when the firm would like to raise capital by selling common stocks, how many ways can the firm do? The first one, the firm can sell common shares in the new issue market. This is a market that sells the security of the corporation for the first time, including the initial public offering. Now, how many ways that we can see the firm can raise capital by selling common shares in the first or primary market? The first way is called a rights offering. And this is a procedure. Let me take a look at my lecture note first. I need to explain a few more things. Here, the issuing firm will allow the current common stockholders to buy shares before other investors. The firm will give rights to the current shareholders, and the rights are called the preemptive rights. These are the rights that give the rights holders to buy new shares of the firm at a price below the current market price of the firm. For example, if the stock price is equal to 20 baht, when the firm would like to raise capital by selling common shares, the firm may give preemptive rights to the current shareholders to buy new common shares at, let's say, 15 baht per share. This 15 baht is called a subscription price. Let me use DS, and here this is the P, right? Or P0. So now you can see that this is very similar to an option or a warrant, very similar. However, the rights that are given here have a short maturity, very short maturity. And they can be traded. Even if the life or the maturity of the preemptive rights are very short, right? If let's say that the life is just only 20 years, when you get the preemptive rights but you don't want to use them, then because they have value, you can sell them to some other investors. Sometimes the rights are listed on an exchange, adding more liquidity to the rights. Okay. In other cases, if I know that one firm gives preemptive rights to the current shareholders, I may contact the current shareholders directly, asking whether whether they want to sell preemptive rights to me or not. It is difficult to get information anyway. But if the rights are listed on an exchange, this is similar to an option. Right? Okay, so the trading will be much more effective if the rights are listed. Now, take a look at the procedures. On the first day, take a look at the price. Okay, I'm going to draw the diagram myself. Okay, so assuming that this is the price, let's say P0 is equal to 100 baht. This is the price before the rights are given. This is the declaration date. The firm announces that it is going to give preemptive rights to the current shareholder. So on the declaration date here, the stock price jumps from this to the new price. And if I assume that there are no other factors affecting the price, the new stock price will remain constant. This price is called rights on. This is the rights on price. Rights on price. And the jump is exactly equal to the value of one right, the value of the right. Numbers will follow later. And there is another date called the X right date. This here. XR. This is XR. What is the right X right date? On the X right date, to be completed, the answer later, the stock price will drop to approximately the same level. This is 100. Assuming that is 100. And during this period, the price is called the, I should have used 0 here, right? Because this is today and this is sometime in the future. Sorry again for a mess. So just use a P. Because we have so many times here, today and sometime in the future, right? So T has many numbers. So just use a P. Now, on the X right date, the stock price drops by approximately the value of the right. So you may call this the X right, PX right, meaning that this stock price excludes the value of the right. P rights on it includes the value of the right, because anyone who owns one share starting from the announcement date until the XR here will be entitled to buy a new share or new shares. So come back to XD or XR date here. We must specify the day on which the rights to receive the preemptive rights belong to the holders or to the seller of the stock. If I am confusing you, let me try again by a few examples. If you hold a stock today, and then you sell a stock sometime here, the right to receive the preemptive right will be transferred to the buyer, right? Because the name of the buyer will be recorded in the name list later. However, if you hold a stock here or here, and then you sell a stock on the XR date, the right remains with you. The right remains with you. The buyer will not be entitled to get any preemptive rights. So the XR date will tell you that the preemptive rights remained with the seller. But if you don't sell a stock, that is fine, because your name will be in the name list anyway. Okay? And practically, the firm needs a few more days in order to get a name list. The first day after the XR date is called the record date. And then the book closing date. This is the book closing date. Usually, there will be a few days apart between these 3 days. Your name will be recorded in the owner's book of the corporation. So we call this date the book closing date. Right? Now you can see that actually, when you sell your common share on the XR date, you don't hold the share physically at all. But your name is still in the book on the name of the name list of the corporation. That's why I told you earlier that the corporation will use the XR date to determine who are owners of the firm. Even if physically you don't hold any share at all, but your name will be still here if you sell the share on the XR date. So anyone who buys shares starting from the XR date and on, even if he or she owns the share physically, he or she is not the owner of this corporation, and the name will not appear in the name list at all, right? And then after that, it is the rights distribution date, and then this is the exercise of the rights. Meaning that the last day here will be the last day that you can buy the new shares. So this is similar to the diagram for distributing cash dividends, except that for cash dividend you have only 4 days, no 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have this one, because this one will be the day that the firm transfer money to your account. You don't need to exercise anything. So this is the process of issuing the rights. Okay. So if you hold some rights and you don't want to exercise the right because you just don't want to buy more shares of this firm, you can sell them. So you need to calculate how much each right is worth. Okay. Go back to beginning a little bit. Why would the firm want to sell common shares using the rights offering? One answer is that the firm wants to make sure that everyone still have the same ownership structure. For example, let's say that there are initially 100 shares outstanding and you hold 10 shares. So basically, you control 10% of this firm. You control 10% of this firm. The firm decides to issue 10 more shares. The firm decides to issue 10 more shares. So in order for you to control 10% of this firm, you should have a right at least to buy one new share, right? That's why when the firm decide to issue 10 new shares, they may choose a rights offering in order that the current shareholders can maintain their ownership. But if shareholders do not want to do that, they can sell the rights. They can sell the rights to other investors. Now, how can we determine the right? Take a look at our example at the end of page 4, continuing to page 5. Southern Rubber earns 8 million baht after taxes, and it has 1 million shares outstanding. So earnings per share are 8 baht. The stock sells at 12.5 times earnings, or 100 baht a share. The company announces plans to raise 10 million baht of new equity capital by a rights offering, and decide to sell the new stock to shareholders for only 80 baht a share. So 80 is the subscription price. You can see that this price is lower than the current market price. Right? The following are partial statement of financial position and partial income statement before the rights offering. So you have some numbers here before the right offering. The first question is, how many rights will be required to purchase a share of the newly issued stock? Now, number of new shares. New. This must be equal to total funds to be raised. Total funds to be raised divided by the subscription price. So in this case, the firm wants to raise 10 million baht. And each share is sold at 80. Therefore, the firm plans to issue 125,000 shares. 125,000 shares. So this is the first question. No, not yet. What's the question? How many rights will be required to purchase a share of the newly issued stock? Not yet. Sorry about that. You know that you plan to issue 125,000 shares. 125,000 shares. Let me use N as the number of rights needed to buy a new share. If you own one share, you will get one right. If you own one share, you get one right. But you may need more than one right in order to buy a new share. That's the first question. You need to come up with this one. And the all new shares is equal to 1 million shares. 1 million shares. So you can take a look at two numbers, okay? Earlier, there are 1 million shares. And right now, the firm plans to issue 155,000 shares. Now, if you think about this, 1 million shares, 1 million rights. 1 million shares, 1 million rights. Therefore, this is just like an interpolation. If you want to issue only 125,000 shares, total number of rights that you need in order to buy a new share will be 1 million shares divided by 125,000 shares. This is 8 rights. So you need 8 rights in order to buy a new share. Please keep in mind that you need both 8 rights plus 80 baht in order to get a new share. Not just 8 rights, because for one share, one new share, you need to pay the subscription price too. But the first question just asked you only how many rights do you need to buy a new share, okay? But when you want to buy a new share, you need both rights and cash. It will take a longer time, so let's have a 10-minute break, and then we come back to finish this example.